our green modified golf cart was a great success. And we thought we've got to build another one like it. We had good suspension, it adequately hold a driver in his heavy power chair or a manual, and a passenger in a heavy power chair or a manual chair, room on the back for other passengers. So we went looking for another gasoline powered golf cart and found to our surprise that they're way more expensive than the electric ones, to the tune of like $3,000 more for a used one. So we thought, well, we don't want an electric one. Nobody wanted an electric one. They've all had the experience of a battery going dead at the most inconvenient time. And the golf cart's got 6 batteries that aren't easily revived once they go dead. And so we discussed that dilemma. Should we spend thousands more, make another gasoline one, or come up with a solution to the potential dead battery issue with an electric? And we did. We decided we'll build a hybrid. So this is our hybrid golf cart, thing number 4. It is electric, but it only has half the batteries. Goes about 2 hours on pure electric. And then at any time, before, during, or after your pure electric, you can push the button on the remote, start a generator, and keep those batteries charged for 6 hours worth of 1 tank of gasoline. So here's how someone in a wheelchair would access this. They come up to the back, open our control box, and the first lever is this, the main power. So we're going to turn on the main power. And then our first lever is the gate actuator. We get the gate all the way down, and with effort you can get up that angle, but we want to get it flat with the air suspension, so we'll just go level like that. And then you roll around. So now there's room to get in here with your chair and reach these buttons. And let the air out. All right, now we're flat. You get the gate down a little bit more. 2 controllers, one here and one in the back. And then if you don't happen to be in a wheelchair, you need to bring your own chair. I bring my bucket. Get on, push the button, pull the gate up, push the buttons and lift it. And we'll show how these different things work. One by one, just let you see some of the engineering we did. First, I'll show you our engine compartment. That's under this lid. Also holds the backrest. We got some wing nuts. And then this lifts it off, or just slides if you're just wanting to look in. But if you pull it all the way off, you can see our gasoline generator, 3 kilowatt. And this is one that's all contained, and it blows its exhaust and hot air out the same side. So we put this ductwork in a little grid. So we're blowing all the heat out. It's very quiet. The axle is in front of it, and then just wedged in front of the axle behind that front panel are 3 batteries instead of 6. Down in this corner is the air compressor, and then our air shocks are also up in there, not quite seen. So I'm going to get the remote now, and I'll show you the fun of starting it and watching all the gauges come on. When you want the hybrid mode, you grab the remote, push the button, slight delay for the generator to warm up. Battery chargers, each dedicated to 1 battery, and the gauges corresponding. Now if you notice, we've got 3 battery chargers up here, but if you saw video number 1 of this white hybrid, the very first prototype had 3 yellow boxes. So those weren't battery chargers, those were battery jump boxes, just like what we used to make the dashboard in that mower cart. So we thought, well, maybe they'll work. They're really cheap, so 40 bucks a piece. We put those in the front, and then that first use we took it to a camp, and those battery boxes melted one at a time about 2 hours in. So that was too light duty, and not obviously, you know, it's made to jump a car maybe 30 seconds at the most, not 2 hours of use. So then we went to the heavy duty gel cell, 3 big batteries in the back, 3 12 volts, making the 36 that this thing needs, and then used 3 battery chargers. And the next event we went to, we melted one of our battery chargers. And we realized, well, they're not really designed to run full blast for 3 hours either. So what solved that problem, and is still now we've got many events and no issues with the chargers. Right underneath, on each one, we added the little computer cooling fan that you have in most computers. So now there's constant airflow through the chargers. We've had no issues with the chargers burning out. And even with dead batteries, there's enough amperage that they can supply so you can drive off and not get stranded. So we've got our hybrid system working pretty good. And here's what we came up with for a dashboard. We decided more meters the better. We got 3 voltmeters here that monitor each of the batteries, so when you first turn it on, you could be aware if there's a battery problem. These are all a little above 12, right at 12, and a little below 12 volts. We have our cup. It's used as our remote holder and cell phone holder. This box holds the big switch that was once under the seat for the golf cart for the forward and reverse. There's our reverse buzzer. These 2 toggle switches are for each of the gates. The flipper switches here are for the air, front and rear shocks, and then a dual gauge to monitor pressure. We decided we need another switch just as a safety, so you can shut the motor off any kind of emergency. And then up here is a tank. That's our main air tank. It was cheaper to buy an air compressor to get a tank than to buy a tank by itself. So we had these gauges that came with it, so we mounted those so you can read them. You can see tank pressure and line pressure. And then for hand controls, it's now got the parking brake on. The hand control is locked in this slot. So when it's up there, park brake's set, won't roll. And pulling that down, now we have the potentiometer that was once on the gas pedal. That's connected right inside on the steering column to this lever. So pulling this gives you faster or slower. This was helpful for one of our drivers, so this is his control here.